Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose, where we talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. Yes, I am the Goose. Always happy to have you join me. And of course, we have some more great information to talk about today, the big fight coming up. But first, let's start with our PED, our steroids, if you will, steroids in a cup. My coffee, as you know, very strong, just like my opinion, but got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. All right, the big fight coming up. Pacquiao and Keith Thurman, world welterweight title bout in Las Vegas on July 20th. I'm so excited. I know you guys are too. Should be a great matchup. You got the two complete opposites, polar opposites, if you will. The only thing they have in common is they're both great fighters and they're both champions. On one hand, you have Keith Thurman, undefeated, and I looked up his amateur record, by the way. No, he's not undefeated. He lost 6 times as an amateur, so he knows what it's like. Nothing fake there. And of course, on the other side, you have the great Manny Pacquiao, Filipino legend, going after yet another title. What is the subject of today's show? Okay, brace yourselves. It's my opinion, but it's based in fact. And I stand by this. Manny Pacquiao is the greatest fighter ever. There, soak it in. And I'm not just, you can call me what you're a fanboy, you're just, you're married to a Filipino, so you like Manny. Well, yeah, all that's true. But why am I a fan of Manny Pacquiao? Because he's the greatest fighter ever. Now, it's my opinion, but again, I got lots of facts for you. So let's start, shall we? First of all, his resume. Nobody comes close to Manny Pacquiao's resume. He's fought Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer and beaten almost all of them, pretty much all of them. He has fought 23 world champions. 23, that's unheard of. And why would a guy like that put his reputation or his record on the line? Because he has no fear. That's one of the keys to why Manny Pacquiao is great, or in my opinion, the greatest. He's just not fighting champions. He's fighting Hall of Famers. I give you a long list. How about Barrera? How about Morales? Marquez? Okay, let me back up a second. He beat Barrera twice. He beat Morales twice, knocked him out twice. He beat Marquez twice. And let me stop here and just fill you in on something. They fought 4 times. The first time was a draw. And one of the judges said, oops, I scored it wrong. There was 3 knockdowns in 1 round, and he failed to score that correctly. It should have been a win for Manny. So counting that in, it should be 3 wins by Manny over Marquez. The 4th fight, it took Marquez 4 fights to figure him out, and even then he was getting the snot beat out of him, and his nose was broken, and he got the 1 punch in. Good for him. So he beat Pacquiao. But Pacquiao's beat him 2 times for sure. Who else has Pacquiao defeated? Bradley twice, really 3 times because he was robbed the first time. More Hall of Famers: Mosley, Margarito, Cotto, De La Hoya. You can go on and on. They're not just good fighters. They're great champions and Hall of Famers. The man has done it all, and nobody can match Manny Pacquiao's resume. He has, and again, you set yourself up for an argument when you say this, although it's true. He has 8 championships, belts in 8 different weight classes. Nobody in the history of boxing has come close to that. The closest is 5. Okay, and you'll say the Manny haters, and there are always going to be haters out there. Oh, they were, catch weights, and, somebody was drained and somebody was old. Whatever, okay? Take all that into consideration. He's won 5 lineal titles. Nobody has done that. You cannot match this guy's resume. Now, one of the criticisms, and it falls on deaf ears because it's not true. When you're famous, when you're great, if people can't come up with facts to cut you down, they'll make stuff up. Oh, PEDs. You know Pacquiao is on performance-enhancing drugs. Everybody knows that. He can't, there's no way a normal human being can win in 8 different weight classes without juicing up, right? No, you're not right, because he's never done it. He's never been caught, so he's never done it. Yes, human beings can do that if you're committed, and Manny Pacquiao is. He's just he's a beast. He's an animal. We'll get more into that later. But no, he has never tested positive for steroids, PEDs, or anything illegal. But who has? This may hurt your feelings, but I've got just a few. The list is long, but I'll just give you some of the fighters that Pacquiao has fought. Okay, and again, Hall of Famers: Margarito, Mosley, Morales. How about one more? Sorry to rain on your parade, but Floyd Mayweather Jr., cheater. Yeah, and not just, he hasn't just been caught breaking the rules, he was caught breaking the rules in the Pacquiao fight. Remember? Oh, you don't remember. Let me refresh your memory. The day before the fight, he was caught getting an injection. Who knows what was in it? But just the injection was illegal. And those people who look at the scene without any biases will tell you that, the injection, whatever it was he was being injected with, can hide PEDs so you can pass the test. So Mayweather is, I've got a few criticisms of Mayweather. He's a great fighter, but yes, he cheated too. So, the list is long. There's a lot of fighters who have been caught and guilty of PEDs, but Manny Pacquiao is not one of them. The man is great. I've seen so many of his fights, and every time I see him fight, it's a show. And not just a show for entertainment, because that's not what he's doing. He's not there just to, pitter-pat and dance around and do a little ballet like some fighters. Mayweather, he fights. Pacquiao is not a boxer, although he's very skilled. He's there to fight, and he's there to knock you out. And he's done it 39 times. Now, his next opponent, Keith Thurman, has 29 wins, 22 knockouts. Pacquiao has knocked out far more fighters than Thurman has even fought. So, be afraid. Be very afraid. Manny Pacquiao is the greatest ever. Now, who do you want to say is better than Pacquiao? Well, you can go to other weight divisions and say, well, Muhammad Ali. That's always the first one that people come up with. Muhammad Ali lost 5 times. Okay? All the great fighters, and I'm not including Mayweather because, well, for many reasons, the great fighters, almost all of them, have lost. Is that a stain on their record? No. That just means they're willing to go toe-to-toe with whoever's out there. They're not going to duck anybody. They're not going to dodge anybody. They're not afraid of anybody. And when I say that, what name comes to mind? Manny Pacquiao. He's fought them all. And many of those fights, he was the underdog. I mean, you look at the De La Hoya fight, people thought De La Hoya was going to kill him. And look at some of the other fights. Margarito. He was far bigger than Pacquiao. I think, the weigh-in, they were pretty close within a couple of pounds. But the next day, after Margarito had a chance to rehydrate, he outweighed Pacquiao by, about 20 pounds, maybe more. He was a far bigger man, and Pacquiao put a world-class whooping on him. Size means nothing. Reputation means nothing. Pacquiao will take you on. And he's been the underdog in many of those great fights. And he's won almost all of those great fights. So those are many of the facts. Yes, it's my opinion that Pacquiao is the greatest fighter ever, but facts. I always throw facts out there. I don't just like to, go by feelings, whether it's sports or politics or anything else. Bring me the facts. Give me the information, and I'll make up my mind. What about the fight coming up with Keith Thurman on July 20th in Vegas? For some strange reason, and I cannot figure this out, Pacquiao is the underdog. Now, when I listed all of those facts to you, why is Pacquiao an underdog? I don't get it. but yet he's the underdog on the betting cards in Vegas. But the vast majority of fight fans who you talk to say Pacquiao's the favorite. No doubt about it. And I'm one of those. Pacquiao has a record of 61 wins, 7 losses, I think 2 draws. And of those 7 losses, I'm not here to whine or make excuses or anything like that. We know probably 3 of those losses are shady at best. The first Bradley fight was a robbery. The Horn fight was a robbery. And Marquez, all credit to him, a great Hall of Fame fighter. He was juiced to the gills. You're not 38 years old with pimples on your back. No, I'm afraid not. So those are just 3 examples, and there may be a couple more. But I challenge you as a fighting fan, and all of his fights are available on YouTube for free. I challenge you to watch any fight and point one out to me. And I welcome all your comments. Point one out in which Pacquiao was made to look bad, or beaten up, or just embarrassed. None. The Horn fight, he wasn't beaten up, and it's not elbows and headbutts. That doesn't count. I'm sorry. And the Floyd Mayweather fight, that wasn't a fight. It was Manny chasing Floyd around the ring. So, and you're not going to find any examples. If you do, let me know. I'll be glad to listen to you of Manny Pacquiao being embarrassed, beaten up, or schooled by any fighter. He's lost a few, but he's never embarrassed. His motto, and he was asked recently, "Why do you keep fighting? You're 40 years old. Haven't you done everything there is to do? You've beaten all the odds. You've beaten all the champions. Why do you keep fighting?" He sings to you. That's Manny Pacquiao. What a joy he is to watch fight. What a joy he is to, what a great example to fighters and to people of faith and people who believe in God and family and giving back to the poor. Manny Pacquiao is the one. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Manny Pacquiao is the greatest fighter ever. That's it for this edition of Coffee with a Goose. I really appreciate you watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. The list keeps growing, and we're very grateful. And again, we're going to go to LA here in just a couple days and hopefully talk to the Pac-Man himself. We look forward to it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching, and look us up on Facebook, will you? Coffee with a Goose. Talk to you next time. Take care.